So how long is too long? Drive too far and every day feels like a chore. Drive too little and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. The sweet spot is usually 5 to 6 hours for most people. But here's the thing, that's just drive time, not stops, not detours, and not that weird ice cream place you just have to pull over for. So if you're just looking at what Google Maps says, you're already planning it wrong. We had a day in the Smoky Mountains that looked only like 4 hours, but we didn't get in until after dark. Have you ever looked at a map and said, oh, that's only 4 hours. We'll be there by lunch. Yeah, that's what we thought too. But our 4-hour day in the Smoky Mountains turned into an all-day event with us pulling into our accommodation after dark. It started simple. We mapped out a route through the park that should have been about 4 hours of driving, give or take. Easy, right? Except the roads weren't interstate highways. They were winding, 2-lane mountain roads where 35 miles an hour felt fast. Then came the scenic stops. We pulled over at least 3 times just to take photos of places we couldn't resist. Then of course the visitor centers caught our eye, where we checked out the maps, talked to a ranger, and of course got our national park stamp. We also got completely sidetracked watching the bears near the edge of the road. Then there was an elk herd. We just had to stop for that too. And of course, lunch took longer than expected too, because we forgot to pack our picnic lunch for that day and had to go back into town to find something to eat. That's when I realized not all drive time is created equal. Mountain roads, scenic routes, and even the best detours, they slow you down. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. One of the best lessons came on a multi-state road trip with my aging parents. At first, I planned the trip the same way I always do, planning our route based on sights, driving distances, and where we'd sleep each night. But about 2 days in, it was clear that my plan worked better for Google Maps than it did for actual human beings. We quickly realized driving 3 to 5 hours straight wasn't realistic. My parents needed to stretch their legs, use the restroom more often, and just take breaks from sitting. We started planning stops every 2 to 3 hours, sometimes for a short walk at a scenic overlook, sometimes to visit a roadside attraction. And here's the thing, it didn't slow us down in any meaningful way. In fact, those breaks ended up being some of the most memorable stops of our trip. Wandering a small town farmer's market we never planned to stop at, watching some wildlife at a rest stop, and even laughing over ice cream in the middle of nowhere. When you plan for real human needs, not just GPS numbers, everything gets better. Those spontaneous breaks can become the most memorable parts of your journey. So just a quick tip, seniors, kids, and road trip rookies need shorter days. By the way, if your trip includes kids, parents, or a mixed group, you want to plan for boredom. So I created a free boredom buster pack for you just in case. You can grab it in the description of this video. Buffer days can save road trips. One day we planned for 5 hours. We hit construction and detours, which added 2 hours. But it was fine. Why? Because we added a cushion. We didn't need every hour to go right for the plan to work. Now I plan every travel day with a 20 to 30% time buffer. And you should too. Because of that buffer, what could have been a disaster day just became a detour day. When you go pack for your next road trip, you should know most people do one of 2 things. They either pack too much stuff or they pack the wrong stuff. Want to know the most important things to take? Click the video on the screen and I'll show you right now. And remember, when you're planning your daily drive time, treat it as a trip-defining decision, not a logistic detail.